is maybe a weird video to make. It's probably one of my weirdest to make to date, but today's different than every single one. Today we'll be doing a theory on something I've always wanted to do, something that piqued my curiosity the second that I heard it, something that just seemed off.
My battery's getting low.
Now, it might be a little off to think about Kendrick Lamar having made this song and him having implied darker meanings with what he was creating. But other than that, it's a really good album, and I'll give it that. But it has more to it. If you listen closely and you connect everything, you can find a life story. 2 life stories, actually. And that's where I wanted to make this theory. That's where I thought this is perfect. First, let's start off with Blood. For the first song of the album, it's less than a song and more of a play-by-play story. It's not the fact that it's the only one formatted like this, it's the way it's said. A blind old lady is confused in the street looking for something. Kendrick sees and decides to help, but ends up dying. He's shot. By who? It's something that made me want to scrap the whole video. But then I looked closer. It's more about the first lines. Is it wickedness? Is it weakness? You decide, are we gonna live or die? This purpose is the idea of different stories. It proposes the idea that we need to look deeper. But if we're going to look at Blood, then we should probably look at Duckworth too. It's the same, less of a song and more of a story. It is about 2 men, Anthony and Ducky. Anthony has been in the drug since the age of 15, but one day after being confronted with the cops, he goes to a local KFC, where we meet Ducky. He's a window worker who is working hard so his son is working for it. He wants to rob the KFC. Ducky catches wind of this, and instead of Anthony or leaving and quitting, he decides to do something more severe, something more life-changing. He gave him free chicken and 2 extra bracelets every time he came by, and it worked. Anthony didn't rob it, and 20 years later, Kendrick is going for a feature, and it's Anthony. Ducky went with Kendrick because Ducky is Kendrick's father. The album goes off the rails at the end of Duckworth. It's a reverse segment, and then we hear Kendrick say, the intro to the story in Blood. What the fuck? This was a roadblock, and it made me want to forget all this. But then I thought, after the success of Damn, Kendrick released a collector's edition that reversed the tracks. Instead of Blood, DNA, Ya, Element, Loyalty, Pride, Humble, Lust, XXS, Fear, God, and Duckworth, it was Duckworth, God, Fear, XXX, Love, Lust, Humble, Pride, Loyalty, Feel, Element, Ya, DNA, Blood. Then I searched up the purpose and found this. Kendrick designed the album to be played in reverse order, saying that it plays as a full story and even a better rhyme. The collector's edition of the album is in the opposite order, starting with Duckworth and ending with Blood. this screamed he meant to do this. But it also was as if that's what he wanted us to think. But what if one order is wickedness and the other is weakness? It ends with weakness and death when you listen from Duckworth to Blood, but it ends in wickedness from Blood to Duckworth. It's all connected. All of it.
My battery's getting low. It'll soon be my time to.
This is all I had for this theory, but then I dug deeper. What if you listened to only the weakness songs and took that story, then the wickedness songs and took that story, then compared them? But that's for another day. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your year. Wait.
My battery's getting low. It'll soon be my time to go.
Kendrick Lamar is an Israelite. This is a crazy hook to put on, but that's the theory. He's a cursed Israelite. An Israelite is God's chosen people. But more into that later. Kendrick Lamar is an Israelite. He's one of God's chosen, meaning he's damned. He's cursed. Throughout the whole album, we get a shift between wickedness and weakness, meaning depending on what order you listen in, you get to choose whether or not you're wicked or weak. He's been cursed with everything bad in the world, and once he follows the lead of God, he'll break the curse. But wait, the curse is already broken. Ducky not killing Anthony was breaking the curse, right? Well, that's if you listen from Duckworth to Blood. But the curse is never broken till the end from Blood to Duckworth. Thank you, and I really hope y'all enjoyed this theory. It took a long time to make, and it was kind of just a random idea that came to mind, and I know for a little bit it didn't seem like it was a theory and more of a explanation of what the album was, but that was the point of why I put out the community post. If y'all wanted 2 videos, one being the theory and one being the explanation. The explanation would be for those who don't know what the album was. The theory would be for those who know what the album was, and then I put them all into one big compilation. And it took a while to edit, and at this moment I'm still editing right now. And in reality, I'm gonna point this out. I recorded this all in a few voice memos and in VN, all on an iPhone X. Edited it all, tried to add the best crackling sound effects I could, and tried to add the best scary factor to it. I really hope y'all enjoyed it, and maybe we can get some lore of our own. Alright guys? Alright, thank you for watching, and bye.